Depuis son retour de la guerre du Vietnam, il avait à peine 22 ans, Oliver Stone est un homme en colère. Contestataire, provocateur, les qualificatifs ne manquent pas pour celui qui, de film en film, pointe du doigt les dérives politiques de son pays et ose écorner le sacro-saint rêve américain. Un engagement qui lui vaut à la fois les honneurs, 2 Oscars du meilleur réalisateur pour Platoon est né un 4 juillet, et la vindicte d'une partie de ses compatriotes. C'est donc exclusivement en Europe qu'Oliver Stone a dû financer et tourner son dernier film, Snowden, sur cet employé de la CIA et de la NSA qui, il y a 3 ans, révélait le système massif de surveillance de la population des États-Unis par son propre gouvernement.
Most Americans don't want freedom, they want security.
Except people, they don't even know they've made that bargain.
Are they watching us?
There's something going on inside the government that's really wrong, and I can't ignore it.
Oliver Stone, ou le dernier des Mohicans du cinéma politique américain.
Dear Oliver, you've made movies about strong historical figure, especially presidents, and you've also made movie just like Born the 4th of July and Snowden about just normal guys, in fact, simple heroes who can stop the motor of the world. It's quoted in the movie. Do you feel as a director you have the same approach and the same excitement, whereas you're dealing with a president or a normal hero?
Well, you have to realize I'm a dramatist. I tell a story, and whatever it is, it's a story about a president, it's a story about a middle-class boy from Massapequa, Long Island, or North Carolina. I just want to tell it right and tell it good with tension. And so, no, I mean, sure, you go to the White House and you visit and you talk to presidents. It's exciting, but it's not enough for a movie. You have to really make it a story about the inner heart, soul of the person. I think I did that with Nixon, and I think in its own way I did it with Mr. Bush, with W, because he's not as deep as Mr. Nixon, but it's an interesting story. But I think in both cases, I surprised those people who always criticize me because I took a more empathetic approach, which is to walk in the shoes of the person, which is what I did on Snowden. Essentially, what I had is an opportunity here to visit with Snowden. It was 9 times to Moscow, and I really, as much as I could, with my co-writer, put myself in his shoes, walk the way he sees the story. This is Snowden's tale, the way he sees it.
You've been photographed before, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since anybody took a photo of me. So.
Try thinking of this as your friend. Take your time.
Can you start by telling us why you did what you did and how you gained access to such a vast amount of information, all of which I've read on the plane?
Glenn, how about we just start with your name, okay?
My name is Edward Joseph Snowden.
Why did you choose to have the real Snowden appear at the end of the movie?
I thought Joe did a superb job. It's Joe Gordon-Levitt, but at the end, I wanted something more up, and I wanted Americans, you have to realize, don't know the story. They don't care for the most part. They think this is a guy who just stole the secrets and gave them away, a bad guy. So they don't even know his name. They confuse him with the songs. They confuse him sometimes with, ils sont pas un peuple éduqué. But at the same time, so they needed a reminder, I felt, that this was not just a fiction or a movie.
Exhibit A. Oakland resident Justin Pinsky posted on a message board. Romania has a storied history of executing their leaders. Couldn't they do us a solid and take out Bush? Oh, this looks juicy. This is from a G-chat.
With the biggest python you've ever seen.
How is this all possible? Keyword selectors. Attack, take out, Bush. So think of it as a Google search, except instead of searching only what people make public, we're also looking at everything they don't. So emails, chats, SMS, whatever.
Yeah, but which people?
The whole kingdom, Snow White.
What is the difference between a whistleblower like Ed Snowden and a rebellious director like you?
Well, I am a whistleblower in my own way, where I'm putting light on situations that are kind of sometimes ugly, and you want to bring it out, There is similarity. I guess you call me a whistleblower, but I think a whistleblower apparently breaks the law. I don't think I've broken the law by making these movies.
But still, you're just like Ed Snowden. You're both considered a hero especially abroad, because you're a great director, and a traitor maybe in your country because you dare to point the dark side of your own country.
Pretty
So
extreme, yeah.
do you
I
live
mean,
with this?
Well, I think the only way you can live with it is get older. Because I think it hurts. I think it hurts to be, and I think it hurts and I think it hurts Ed to be called that. You know, he did this for the most noble of motives, and he didn't take any money. He gave away the information for free. And just to remind you, he gave it to journalists, and he said, you decide. I'm not going to throw it on the internet. You decide what to do. So it was the most noble of actions, and it cost him a lot. But they say Russian spy, this, that. It's just so crazy. The world is filled with malice that way. People don't sometimes look at the evidence.
But what about you? How do you keep the faith?
Because same way Snowden does, day by day. How do you keep the faith? The faith, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard because, movies are very fragile. Mm-hmm. And it takes, 2 years to make one? And you're attacked and this and that. You have to come to strength from inside. I'm 70 now, so I've done 20 movies, directed, and I think, I might have one more in me. I'm not sure, but I would certainly have to have a lot of energy, a lot of desire to make it. It's hard to make a movie I can never done a movie for money only. I never thought that, never thought like that. And unfortunately, you cannot become dependent on results because sometimes you're going to be very disappointed.
Do you still believe there is a place for political cinema? Or
Yes, I do. Of course I do. You should do it. I mean, it's about social cinema. It's about keeping aware of where you are in time. I love history. I would love to. It'd be easier for me to step out of time and say, I'll do something so they won't argue about it. But when you're doing a Snowden, it's very contemporary. When you do World Trade Center, I'm always being criticized but I love to keep track of what's going on. I also did a documentary, Untold History of the United States, of which I'm very proud. That took 5 years, and that went from 1890 U.S. to 2013. And it's ironic that the moment that finished, the Snowden thing happened, and then it became ultimately my next film.
It's everything I have. They're gonna figure out what I've done.
Did you access an unauthorized program?
Because of Snowden, I thought about Mr. Robot series. Have you seen it? Mr.
Robot. Oh, Mr. Robot. Yes, yeah. I saw a few of them.
Is there a place for interesting and political work on television with series?
It's I've seen that kind of formula before, but it ultimately has a science fiction kind of element. It's a fantasy element. I don't think it happens like that way. But I like much of the show. Yes, it's interesting. But I'm getting a little tired of his eyeballs, frankly. I hate to say that, but it's an interesting show. But again, it resorts to a fantasy kind of evil state. The evil state is right here. All we have to do is look at it, and you can see it. It's in the movie. So evil empire is what Ronald Reagan used to call the Soviets.
Yeah.
But I always said, I felt when the Soviet Union ended in 1991, I said, we're going to replace them. And I think we have. Mm.